All right, I'm out here at the world famous Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. You're like, what are you doing there, Mike? There's construction going on next door to my house. I wanted somewhere quiet to do this. Let's go to the Rose Bowl. So we're doing this. I got the Suburban with me. We got Smog Bill news, and we're gonna get started with this one right now. So what's going on with the Smog Bill? Today is the 20th of May. Yesterday was the 19th of May. Yesterday, the Smog Bill passed the full California State Senate. So it got through last week through Senate appropriations. Yesterday it got through the full Senate. So now it is on to the California State Assembly. So first it has to go through the Senate Transportation Committee, then it goes to Senate Appropriations, then it goes, not Senate, Assembly Appropriations, and then full assembly. So, and then after that would go on to the governor's desk. So that is how the bill is supposed to progress. Obviously last year on the bill, we ran into a snag when we got to the assembly appropriations. So we'll see what happens this year. There have been a couple of changes to the bill, which happened last week when it went through Senate appropriations. So they changed it now. Instead of a collector car policy, you can either have a collector car policy, which they have each company has their different rules for mileage, or it's not and, or 1,000 miles a year if you have regular car insurance on your vehicle, which they're going to have to come up with a way for the DMV to verify that, assuming it means taking a picture of the odometer or something like that, similar to how like insurance companies do it for odometer readings. So where are we at now? So the bill, 1975 and older, stays the same. They keep their exemption. Don't tell me you got a 65 Mustang and you're worried about it. It stays exactly the same as it is right now. It would exempt at first 1976 to 1980, like I said, with a collector policy or the 1,000 miles a year and you certify it or whatever, which is great for those who cannot get a collector car policy either because they don't have a garage or because they're below, I think, 21 or 25. I think you can't get a collector car policy. Every year after that, it would move up a year to 1985 being exempted. In 2032, unfortunately, it does stop there. That's a 1986 Suburban. It would not be exempted. So unfortunately, obviously that's a 40-year-old vehicle. Nobody would look at that vehicle and think it was a newer vehicle at all. It is a classic. I've entered it. It's been in shows. It's been at Bob's Big Boy for cruise night and whatnot. But unfortunately, it would not be exempted. Unfortunately, the whole thing I said is from the beginning is I really want to get exempted up to 1995. Since that's pre-OBD2 and obviously a blanket exemption, since that seems to be the problem, where the problem lies in the test, is the smog stations don't want to do the pre-OBD2 test anymore. They charge a lot of money for it. A lot of times they'll tell you the machine's down even when it's not, things like that. So we've told them there's a problem. The easiest solution is to just blanket exempt up to 95. Unfortunately, this does not do that. But this is what we have. It is a step. So fortunately Leno has been on this bill again because he really helped us get noticed, because all these bills we had prior to that, we did not have Leno other than the one last year, and really not much had happened. They wouldn't even let us in the door hardly, and they just didn't even want to hear the bill. But progress is something that is happening incrementally, and that's where we're at. As for this weekend, I'm off to Santa Maria. I'll be going to 2 days of Cruising Nationals up there, which is a pre-65 show. It's mostly customs, a lot of lowriders and stuff like that. But I mean, just think about these car shows, how much money they bring to the community, especially that one that basically takes over the entire town, how much the repairs, the parts, the sales tax, all the revenue the state gets and local governments get from the classic car community. And we really need, the state's always asking about money. The money's there. You just got to exempt these vehicles so there's more money there for the state, for the local communities. Plus, it's something positive in the community since people love classic cars. You know, parents and grandparents love to bring their kids and their grandkids out to check out these cars at shows. All these shows provide entertainment. Most car shows are free for spectators. which is great. Think about, especially here at the Rose Bowl, how much is a sporting event to go to? How much is a concert to go to these days? The only even car shows that charge are usually like not more than 20 bucks, you know, at a fairgrounds or convention center or whatnot. It's education for the kids. Plus, a lot of these kids get into learning how to repair these, learn how to troubleshoot, learn those skills, learn how to think about how things work, and get your brain working. So definitely classic cars are an extreme positive on the community. We keep saying that. We keep pushing this bill, and I keep filming these car shows because people seem to love them. People want to check out these cars, even if it's from the comfort of their home, if they can't make it out to the shows. So that's what I got. We still got the group Californians for Classic Car Smog Exemptions. It's on Facebook. Check it out. I'll put a link in the video description. We're still going to keep pushing this one as it goes through the California State Assembly. I'm going to make videos as I have more information for you guys. We're just going to keep going. And even after this one, we're going to keep going some more because we're not up to 95 yet. We're going to keep going till we are. So that's what I have for you. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell some friends about the bill, tell some friends about the channel, leave some comments, and until next time, I'll be seeing you.